Hello guys, it's Anthony from GetOverYourExGirlfriend.com. Breakup advice for men without the bullshit. And welcome to chapter 8 of the breakup guide, Breakup Stages for Men. In previous chapters of the guide, I have already highlighted that you are not free from feeling the roller coaster of emotions after a breakup, but you do have a great level of control to how long you feel them for. So that being said, what are the stages that men go through after a breakup, and more importantly, how do we get over each one? Do we feel the same as women after a breakup, or does our confusing behaviour influence how others perceive it? Let's take a look at them in order. Stage 1, denial, also known to men as the heavily drinking to suppress the pain stage. Signs you are in denial. Although you are aware your relationship is over, it doesn't feel over. You're receiving the sympathetic head tilted stares and "how are you" questions from caring family and peers and friends, and you're answering in blinded optimism. Yeah, I'm fine, I'm cool, yeah, I'm okay. People close to you are questioning your sanity, as you haven't seemed to come to terms with what's happened. Don't worry, you're not a nutcase, and this is completely normal for a broken-hearted human being, and all of the symptoms have an uncanny similarity to the stages of bereavement. Denial is your brain carrying out its correct job of providing a defense mechanism to a suddenly nasty event. To put it another way, it's simply a subconscious technique to help cushion the blow. Despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary, a big part of you believes she'll change her mind, or call you, or if you were the dumper, you dumped her, you might even call her and talk to her like nothing has changed at all. The good news is this process doesn't last too long, and the men in white coats won't be coming knocking on your door too soon. Probably. Stage 2, anger, also known to men as acting like a complete crazy bastard stage. We've already covered our difficulty of getting in touch with our inner emotions, that being guys, but the one sensation that men have no problem recognising and getting in touch with is anger. You'll know when the denial stage is over, when the red mist has arrived. You're just pissed off. You're pissed off at her, you're pissed off at yourself, you're pissed off at the world. You try to hate her because you think it'll be easier, but it has the opposite effect. You may feel the need to compete with your ex, and may even search for a rebound girl, just for the feeling of bitter sweet revenge. This slightly psychotic stage is potentially the most damaging out of the 5 post-breakup stages for men. In a weird double-edged sword twist though, feeling anger could be seen as a bit of positive news actually. The reason I say this is, it's obvious that the ball is rolling and that you are processing through the breakup stages when you feel anger. However, you should look to get through this cancerous stage as soon as possible before you end up looking like a complete dick. Stage 3 of breakup stages for men, bargaining, also known to men as acting like a complete pathetic pussy stage, I'm afraid. If you are the dumped one, you have a desire and a blind hope of faith that you can somehow still work it out. You become a full-time negotiator and find yourself saying embarrassing things like, "I can change," or "it'll be different this time, I promise." Even if you're not chasing her about, you have this assertive feeling inside that if you tweak your strategy a little, you can get back together. The word change has become a major part of your vocabulary. I can change, you can change, we can change, it can change. You say the word more than a Barack Obama election speech. If you're the dumper, you're doubting your decision and thinking she can change. The bargaining stage, can turn the very best of us into a crumbling, pleading, begging wuss of a mess, and our dignity can go well out of the window. Ride it out and keep that chin up. Stage 4 of the breakup stages for men. Depression. Also known to men as the I want the world to just fuck up and leave me alone stage. Now, as you can tell by the title Depression, this is very far from fun, this stage. This is by far the longest and toughest of all of the breakup stages for men and women. It's not abnormal to feel the lowest you have ever felt in your life at this point. You feel worthless. Motivation, confidence, it's at an all-time low. And you can fall victim of an identity crisis. Anxiety, emptiness, and feelings of hopelessness have the capacity to turn you into a hermit. And now for the good news. Regardless of what you hear, what you've been told, there is a time limit for this horrible feeling, and the advice in this guide is catered mainly for this stage. Hold on to your objective. This awful stage won't last forever. At the same time, it's not a bed of roses, and you're going to have to use the forum and the resources and speak to people on this site, and more importantly, have a bit of fighting you. Now, the next stage of the breakup is what everybody aims for. It's called acceptance, also known to men as the I'm smiling again and life is awesome stage. The acceptance stage is what it says it is. You haven't forgot what happened, but you are able to move forward with your life. You don't spend any more time thinking about her, and life is carrying on with the focus being on you. This should be every broken-hearted man's goal here, and it feels like a heavy chain has been removed from your neck when it happens. You can think about your ex-girlfriend and feel apathetic instead of feeling pathetic. Ah, come on, I'm allowed to say that because I'm also poking fun at my former self. Although this might seem very far away or even impossible, it's very attainable, and the sooner you help yourself, the sooner you will be at this stage. Warning: if you do things wrong, there's always a risk that you can go backwards in stages. For example, if you wallow too much in the depression stage, you can find yourself bargaining and back at stage number 3. When men struggle with a breakup, they can lose the plot too much at the anger stage, and you could find yourself back in denial, which is back at square one really. Think of it as a league table, with the acceptance stage being the championship, everything else being relegation. Thank you for your time, guys. If you're listening from my site, getoveryourexgirlfriend.com, please do not move on to the next chapter until you've read each chapter and completed the relevant exercises, as these are the most important parts of the guide. Thanks for listening, guys, and keep that chin up.